Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, and once again it is time for a bench press day, and making some minor changes here, focusing on getting a little more volume in. Today I thought I would go up a little bit because I've been doing just kind of the fives with 315 to see how 325 felt, and it was actually really hard for 5 reps. And I can kind of see my weak links coming out. I need to do some sets like this that are a little more challenging instead of just doing sometimes the fives with the 315. To kind of see where I'm weakest at. And I noticed even when I unracked this, it didn't feel like a strong day to me. So I knew this would be a challenging set, but I could kind of feel where the bar path went, and I know I need more shoulder and everything at this point. I mean, a lot of times I look at where it's at and go, oh, I need more tricep, and I probably do, but really I can tell it's a lot of front delt, and I still need more pec. These are things that I need. So I also thought I would go a little heavier on the rep work, and even in doing this, these really didn't give me the pec pump that I wanted doing the 275. So I think next workout I'm going to drop the weight back down and work on volume. I need to be hitting, I think, a minimum of 10 rep stuff on all the benching. And on these, it ended up going like 8, and then I think 7 and 7. I just started getting fatigued on these. And I noticed on these two, because I'm sinking them, I did hit the safeties on 2 of the sets on the right side. Still, they were productive. They were good work sets. I know I got gross stimulus from it. But I really, the more I did this workout and work with a little bit of the heavier pressing, the more I realized I have to have the volume. I need to get that volume in if I want to get the hypertrophy I need, because I'm at a point where I've just got to get the pressing muscles thicker. And I know they've gotten bigger, but look at the best sets I've hit. You know, I mean, I think you guys have seen me on good days. I've done 315 for 8. I've also done 335 for 5. Okay. So and my upper body is quite a bit thicker. My pecs, triceps, everything are bigger. I can tell from the way certain clothes fit. I can tell in the mirror. People have commented that definitely the arms look bigger this year. But I'm kind of at that point where I still have to make more progress in those areas. Again, if I want my bench to go up, I just have to continue to get more jacked. And I think that that's going to be the key, because I don't have any immediate meets coming in the immediate future. It really is a good time to make sure that I just get thicker and thicker and thicker. Okay, and I feel like, again, we go back at that point. If I can get to where I can do that 315 for 10, if I get the tissue to do that, the lean tissue to do that, I feel like 405 is there. Okay, 405 is there. But I feel like with a lot of this stuff, there's work capacity problems I'm still running into. You know, I've got to continue to build the muscle and the tendons that I need. And it's just going to take me continuing to put in the work. And in this case, you know, I noticed when the volume went down a little bit, recovery was a little better, but it also didn't make progress. And I've got to have just a little more volume to optimize everything at my stage in the game. And it's just what I have to have. Definitely can't get by on 6 sets a week for chest for me. Certainly not happening. That's enough to just barely maintain. So I need to be closer up to about 12 or so, which is what I did today, because it ended up being 3 back off sets of benching after doing the peak set. Then I did 2 sets of incline. And I'll talk about the incline in a minute. The incline is kind of an interesting thing for me on work capacity. So finding my sweet spot there can be a little difficult. But the benching went good. It's not like these aren't good sets. It's not like I should even be upset with 325 or 5. Just because I've done a little bit better a few weeks back. I've also dealt with all the heat. I've been dealing with the changes of that. And I had a good run of really, really, really good progress. And a lot of that, I think, is what some people pointed out, just a matter of being able to train better with my shoulder healed. Right, I'm at a point where I'm not inflaming my shoulders because I'm not doing silly stuff that bothers them. My shoulders don't hurt. That's kind of a big deal. And honestly, I think that's accounted for a lot of it, that and just general size. So how do we reach the next tier again? Because it's kind of like I made a lot of progress getting to where I was close to probably being able to do 405, then I've hit a little bit of a wall. But again, what do we do to get that up? We get thicker. have to get the pecs, the delts, and the triceps bigger. All the rowing is kind of incidental because I feel like a lot of this at this point is just carrying over to my deadlift more than anything, although it certainly helps with the bench. I'm not going to say it doesn't. It helps me get that good touch point on the first rep. Helps with stabilization, so I don't want to discount it, but we're always training this stuff. And I'm mostly talking today about the bench muscles, the primary movers, but all the support musculature is actually being trained, and it's being trained hard. All right, so for the incline, I kind of did just a brief warm up and then went to 2 plates. The 5 reps was really hard today. I feel like I got my touch point down. I know where I'm at to where it's comfortable on my shoulders. Like I have that position down, I'm able to reach that, but I've run out of steam really fast on incline. And it's definitely after doing benching first. But here's the thing, I would say it doesn't matter. If the incline will address my weak links, and even if I'm weaker at it because I'm fatigued going in, is it still addressing the weak links? Of course it is. Because now the muscles that it works slightly different are doing more of the work because all the parts of the pec and everything that are used on the bench are a lot more fatigued. Now I'm working kind of the rest of those areas. So yes, I'm forced to use reduced weight. I also realized for grip, I'd said before I need to start doing axle bar rows again. So I did. So I did supersets on these. I started light and did sets of 15. When my grip was my strongest, I did lots of axle bar rows. Did lots of axle bar rows. What do I mean strongest? When I pulled 615 that time and walked over and just pulled it and held it at the top and talked on camera and just set it down like it was no grip fatigue at all. And I did that with the power bar years ago. I was doing a lot of axle bar rows. So I feel like that combination works. And I think particularly if I want to save stuff like the low back, because I'm trying to do good mornings now and push those, I can't do a lot of standing rowing. That's why I took them out. I can get away with the axle bar as a secondary one because number one, axle bar forces us to use less weight. Number two, we're fatigued from the dumbbell rows first. So it's now a second pull. Well, that's going to reduce the amount of weight that I can handle in general. So it lets me continue to work the upper back, but it's a great forearm and grip exercise. And this will, again, probably get me up to the next tier on the grip strength. It's going to be a big deal. So much so that I'm like, I don't think that my curls today need to address grip. Because what are we doing? We're doing stiff bar pulls from a deficit now for deadlifts. I'm doing the axle bar rows after dumbbell rows. We're getting a lot of grip now. Now I don't have to worry about it as much. So it's like, let's just focus on just my biceps. Okay. Again, I could use the outreach. I'm getting leaner. Still gonna have my dad bod. I'm getting leaner. I don't think bigger biceps are gonna hurt my outreach in this case. My arms have gotten a lot bigger. But you know, a little bicep work would be fine as long as it's stuff that doesn't create tendon problems. All right, extensions, because I did all that pressing, 6 sets of pressing, which the second set of incline, I'm gonna be honest, like I went down to 155 because I felt so fatigued. I had no work capacity left. My 6th set of pressing, 8 reps felt like a max. Even though I just did 225 for 5, I went down to 155 because it's like I don't think I can do another set with 225. Let's see if we can get to like 10 reps with this. And even that I couldn't get where I wanted to get. So again, I've got to work on the work capacity. Work capacity on incline is really an issue for me. But if I can get that work capacity up, what are going to be the benefits to my hypertrophy? See what I'm saying here? Is it going to also be what I need to get to that 315 for 10? Possibly. It addresses the weak link in it, and it has a work capacity issue itself. Again, we build that tissue because that work capacity builds tissue. All right, we get the lean tissue up, get bigger. So that whole, the upper chest, the delts, all of that will go from the incline work. I've just got to be careful of how I program it because I don't have much left by the time I get to it. Most of my pressing strength, so much of it has been used up. Just getting that set in is very difficult. I mean, I was surprised how heavy the 225 felt, but I also did a lot of bench volume, heavy bench work right before. it felt heavier than what it did on the last workout where I did it for the second set. So I need to figure out how I'm going to work all that in, of just how to fine tune it. But maybe it doesn't matter. Maybe I just need to do incline work and work on good pauses, the right touch point, and just, again, build tissue from it. Maybe I don't need to put a lot of thought into the programming. All right, the Skullcrushers, these were hard today after doing all the pressing. 10 rep sets with these were pretty challenging with this weight. I did supersets with just normal dumbbell curls. I think I did like roughly 16 reps on every set. Got a tremendous bicep pump from this, just finishing off supersetting it with the Skullcrushers. So it didn't really take any time out of my workout because I did it between the Skullcrushers where I'd be resting anyways. So it's just some extra bicep work. So I hope it has been informative, and I will talk to you guys next time.